It's official. Call of Duty is finally on the decline. After all these years of saying the game is terrible, it's the same shit every year, it's not as good as before, people have finally smartened up and stopped giving these assholes money, and one day, the same thing will happen with the YouTube order. Now, the gameplay in the background comes from Iris and Jen, and I have a couple things I want to talk about when it comes to this video. Right now, this is the final video that I have in my possession for Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So for those of you who are interested in sending in your videos, I need some content for future rants, and the way you send it in is it's very simple. You go over to the website, prestigegamers.com. A lot of people sit here and say, what's the website? I say it all the time, motherfuckers. Anyway, you go over to the website, you sign up for an account, and you can send me any kind of footage you have in personal messages or whatever the fuck it is. Basically, I just want some decent footage. It could be of any length. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever the case may be. There's no time limit on how long or how short. Usually a video around 7 to 8 minutes is the minimum that I need in order to get a rant for this content. Now, those videos that I don't use at the end of the year, I'll just roll those into hipfire commentary videos and whatnot. But for people who are still playing this and you want to show off your gameplay, you want to show off your content, by all means, send me in videos. Send them over to the Prestige Gamers website, and that way I'll be able to post your videos up in future rants. Now, the reason why this is the last video that I do have one other video in my possession. However, I can't use the shit. For some reason, one of the videos that one of my subscribers sent me, his name is Superman on YouTube. His name is Rainbow Warrior at Prestige Gamers. Oh, motherfuckers, can you please use the same name across the board? That shit's confusing, trying to remember who the fuck it is. Whatever, man. Anyway, he sent in the video. There's nothing wrong with the video itself. The gameplay is fine. The problem is, whenever I download the video, Sony Vegas doesn't like it. And I know Sony Vegas has some issues when it comes to certain kinds of videos. Usually it's when you record it from the Elgato capture, whatever the fuck, you know, I've had problems with some of my own personal videos. But with his video, whenever I download it in the best quality, I throw it into Sony Vegas, and all of a sudden I get a green screen. I can't use the video. It has no video whatsoever. It has no picture. It has the audio, but I don't get any of the gameplay. So unfortunately, I can't use a video in which we can't actually see gameplay up in this motherfucker. So then I tried downloading the video in a little bit lesser of a quality. However, I throw the video into Sony Vegas, and it works for about 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, the sound goes off. After 5 minutes, the video goes completely blank when it comes to the video portion. Now, I've downloaded this shit multiple times. I've downloaded it on multiple computers. For whatever the fuck reason, the video just does not want to work with Sony Vegas. So for Superman, Rainbow Warrior, whatever the fuck your name is, I know you sent in a gameplay video. The problem is, it just doesn't work with Sony Vegas. So if you have another video, if you have another copy of that video, whatever the hell you have, please send that one back over. You could be part of the whole future series and shit like that. But for now, I don't have another video that I can physically use on a video on YouTube. But now that we got that out of the way, on to the business at hand, the decline of Call of Duty. I'll get into the actual data in a minute. But for the third year in a row, the sales totals have dropped for Call of Duty. It started with Black Ops 2, it's continued with Ghost, and now Advanced Warfare. But sales have ultimately started to slow down and drop each year. It's taken a few years, but players have finally started to fuck with Activision's money, like I've been saying for a long time now. However, make no mistake about this, Call of Duty is still the best-selling game each year. Just because they didn't reach 25 million units in sales doesn't mean they had a bad year. They still sell 20 million copies per year, although it looks like Advanced Warfare is going to fall far short of that, but that's still higher than the second highest selling games of the year. Ghost barely got over the 20 million mark last year. I mean, they did it within an ass hair to spare to get over that shit, but Advanced Warfare is going to need to sell better than any Call of Duty has ever done in the next 9 to 10 months to reach 20 million sales. Now, when you look at the actual sales data, it's hard to determine who's accurate and who's full of shit. For starters, VG's chart is not used because that's all guesswork. While their guesses aren't too far off, essentially, they're guessing at everything, and then they add up all their guesses to get a final number. They judge sales on a weekly basis, yet no retailer or publisher counts weekly sales. They count first day sales or first week sales for the first time after a game launches or first month sales, but after that, it's all measured on a monthly basis. So their weekly shit is basically a shitload of guessing. Now, Activision likes to lie about their success. Go figure. A big company lying about their money. But each year, they throw out terms like fastest selling game, most popular franchise, best selling game of the year, all of which are true, by the way, don't get me wrong, so they're not saying anything that's incorrect. But what they aren't saying this year are the actual totals for Advanced Warfare. It's the best selling game of the year, there's no question about that, there's no doubt in that at all, that it's sold better than any other game. Second game on that list is Destiny, so go figure. But Activision has not released exactly how many units are how much revenue Call of Duty Advanced Warfare has made this year. They also like to trump up the success of all their games. Remember Ghost last year? They sold $1 billion in day one to the retailers. That was a load of bullshit, and it was basically just a response to Grand Theft Auto beating them down in sales and breaking all their records. Black Ops 2, the best-selling Call of Duty game of all time. Yeah, not exactly true. So, how do you figure all of this shit out? Well, the main company that tracks sales data is the NPD Group, and that's the company really to go by. However, the biggest flaw with all of their data is that they can't measure digital sales. They don't know how many games are sold online through the PlayStation Network or Xbox Live. They only go by in-store physical merchandise, whether it's GameStop, Best Buy, Walmart, you name it. But they have absolutely no way to measure how many digital downloads of Call of Duty that the game actually sells. So the unfortunate answer to that is that Activision will be the only company that knows for sure the true number of sales, and they won't say anything, which is a pretty good indication itself that Advanced Warfare is not outselling its predecessors. But let's just go with store merchandise for a second. The highest selling Call of Duty of all time in terms of units was Modern Warfare 2, but it reached that record because people were still buying the game 2 to 3 years later, which raised its sales total. The highest selling Call of Duty game in a 12-month span, which means from the time of release until the next game comes out, was Modern Warfare 3. From November to October during its sale year, Modern Warfare 3 has the highest single year sales totals. Now, the best-selling Call of Duty game on opening day was Black Ops 2. It also has the best 2-month selling period, which puts it through the Christmas time frame. However, where Black Ops 2 starts to fall short is where you really have to look at this data. After the Christmas sales period, Black Ops 2 sales tailed off more than any other game before it. In other words, people were buying previous Call of Duty games from January on more than they were buying Black Ops 2. It didn't outsell Modern Warfare 3 in total sales. It only beat Modern Warfare 3 in the first 2 months of sales. Then the next 10 months, Modern Warfare 3 outsold it. Moving on to Ghost. It didn't beat Black Ops 2 in opening day sales, and it didn't beat it in yearly sales. And now Advanced Warfare, which didn't beat Ghost in opening day sales, didn't beat it in opening day, week, month, you name it, according to the NPD data, is still short of Ghost figures after the Christmas sales holiday. So keep this in mind. Digital sales are not counted, but it's safe to say that digital sales will not make up the gap between the two games. Basically, Call of Duty has been in decline for 3 straight years. Now, the game isn't going anywhere. We know that. The studios are certainly not going out of business. Activision is still raking in more money than we'll see in our lifetimes, but the message has been sent. Call of Duty has officially peaked. Players are finally turning away from the series, and while it's still the most sold franchise each year, the decline that we've been waiting for has finally arrived. Does that mean Activision will change the studios and will take a different approach? Possibly, but more likely it just means Activision will start cutting back production expenses and ramping up DLC like they did with Destiny. But at the very least, gamers are finally starting to smarten up. You know, Grand Theft Auto was a game worthy of all of its records, and a game definitely deserving of kicking Call of Duty in the dick and showing how quality development leads to better games, as opposed to the rush copy and paste garbage that we get every year from this franchise. Now, in the future, I don't think Call of Duty is going to make any kind of drastic changes in the next few years, but I do expect some kind of change, whether it's the production of the game or the price gouging that they're going to do with the DLC. Something is going to change because Activision does not want Call of Duty's slogan to turn from the record-breaking sales franchise each year to the declining sales of a once great franchise. They're just not going to allow that to happen. They want to put on the box the best-selling franchise of all time. They want to put on the box the best-selling game of the year, the record-breaking selling game of the year. So at some point, they're going to have to change because they want that record, they want the recognition, and they certainly want that money back in their bank accounts. But with Call of Duty gamers finally starting to smarten up, the official decline of Call of Duty sales has finally arrived. The thing we've been waiting for about 3 or 4 fucking years now for this overrated franchise. Now, if only people could do that with Destiny when it comes to Activision. Anyways, that does it for this video. So as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. Like I said, guys, if you have some footage, go over to the website, Prestige Gamers, send me your footage. We'll be able to post it up in future Call of Duty videos.